gladly pay you by the hour for a minute or so, so you can sign off on the towers where they'll piss on your home.
I can't get over how much when I hit the joint, it looks like the cherry lights up and looks blue. It looks like I have like a vape pen much.
To answer them, no, it's 'cause
isn't that weird? I swear it's a joint.
They'll gladly pay you by the hour for a minute.
I'm going through for story time. I'm practicing my angles and shit. So
off on the towers where they'll piss on your home. And if you
that was so fun. I can't believe how many people we had hanging out for story time.
To answer them, no, it's 'cause you are.
Oh yeah.
It's 'cause you are. Stagnate a living wage, snap the chains and bury it. Labor slaves in rusty cages dragged behind a chariot, led by Mr. Racial Jungle, Joseph R. Iscariot, fighting over scraps as they barrage us all with variants and BuzzFeed clickbait, straight until we're paralyzed, trying to distract us from the concentration camps that Joe had closed but only chose to amplify, where they got 50-something kids in cages made for 5 to occupy. And no, she hasn't seen the camps, but Harris swears they're paradise. Pollution in these glaring lights, forced to change its habits and adapt to just survive. But now it's safe to say that some of us are thriving in the moment, throwing shit on presidential homes beneath the Paris skies. So if you feel like you're just powerless, I guess you bought the lie. But I can tell they're petrified of our collective might, 'cause I can hear those gentrifiers weeping at the sight of our collective rights. And I only can imagine the intensifying fear of knowing revolution's near. And all that's left to do is simply wallow in the thick anticipation of a rabid bite. And baby, one day you can ask your leaders just what that was like before you grab a slice. So if you think you're powerless, allow me now to change your mind. Honey, if you think you're powerless, allow me now to change your mind. See, they'll pay you hourly, tax them each apart, and build a shining tower out of loopholes and cards, and tell you that you're powerless to keep you in the dark, because you aren't, because we aren't. You see, they'll pay you hourly, tax them each apart, and make you build a shining tower out of loopholes and cards, where they'll tell you that you're powerless to keep you in the dark, because you aren't, because we aren't. Fate demanded I be singer of a new ballad about the candidate you wanted like a finger in your fruit salad, but were made to choke down. And never mind he didn't have supporters on the ground. Never mind a website that gave volunteers the runaround, and a platform, a policy that followed Biden's lead and didn't make a fucking sound. And then he takes the crown. Now that's ascension into power by immaculate election, 'cause no one really wanted it and no one should have trusted it. But don't you try to question it, 'cause Joe is not a fan of questions, but Joe is a fan of pointing fingers right in people's faces. Or if they're not in public spaces, Joe will try to poke a finger everywhere I won't mention. Joe's soul is molded and beholden more to power than the list of fucking speakers at the DNC convention, who gave us all a show of keeping AOC at bay, just so everyone can say they tried to censor her dissension. But if you still believe the progressives we've elected give a shit if we're protected, there's a bridge I'd like to sell you in a parallel dimension. You know they're just tech savvier with media relations, propagandist Instagram and public obfuscation. Better suited to assure you that they're here to have a conversation. Better suited to assure you they aren't actively supporting your eviction and your slide into starvation. Better suited to assure you they can tweet about your needs and offer hope and motivation while you drift into the weeds, but they partnered with the moccasins and gators and the reeds. And you damn sure get a portion of our meat. So, love me or leave me or mislead me to decree. Honey, you won't want to hear it, so I'll try to say it sweet. The squad are not your buddies, they are simply more discreet. The GOP will kill you on your feet. Dems and fake progressives do it in your sleep. Anyone can recognize a nation's needs and put it in a tweet. But coming from a leader in a seat of power really shows they know they're obsolete. GOP will kill you on your feet. Dems and fake progressives do it in your sleep. The squad are not your buddies, they are simply more discreet. You won't want to hear it, so I'll try to say it sweet.
People still owe money. People still owe money. No. People still owe money. People still owe money.
It looks to me as though you learned to love your prison. I guess you'd say you made it your own. Such a difficult decision. I bet you finally feel like you're home. Home.
Right in the center where the haves meet. You were proud of incremental half speeds. You were getting down in the AOC dance line, hands tied, nodding to the backbeat. You'll Secret Service dive in front of any representative alive, being asked for the very bare minimum. And you'll turn into that same kind of hard right villain you detested should we mention they could ever muster maximum. Cause liberal denial's such a lofty ataraxia, where morals take a back seat, not up in the cab, but in hidden panels made by federal human traffickers. If you trust the autopilot, then you're just a sleeping passenger, passively accepting that it isn't us the bastards serve, making peace with all the evil walking on this rancid earth. Seeking unity with those who bound your hands at birth. Glancing up at fascists on a bloody dais thinking they just need a push. Not a holy man, but I'm praying for a burning bush. Yeah, I know you'd love to look away, but love, you need to look. There are many massacres the country manufactured that will never make the books. Now here's your fucking hook.
It looks to me as though you learned to love your prison. I guess you'd say you made it your own. Who knew that freedom's such a difficult decision? I bet you finally feel like you're home.
Home on the range of excuses. Justify some fracking, water down pollution, paint a fresh coat of bipartisan charm over backroom collusion. Your consent is being manufactured by illusions, marketing executives in federal seclusion, working day and night to keep you just the side of lucid, and to beat down for calling out abuses. So fuck all these progressives who can speak on revolution once they empty all your powder out and spit on all your fuses. I prefer to judge a leader not by quality of tweets, but the 6-figure book deals she chooses. Donor owners he betrays, and donors that he'd gladly take a bullet before he refuses. Slogans he reuses, buzzwords he produces, then he spews like mucus. Well, two can play at that. So here's the inner dialogue of every time I snap, and it's fine-tuned to ruthless. And saying politics are useless. Just a bunch of loose lips tweeting cute shit, power suits, taxpayer booze trips. Bunker at the ready when the shoe flips. And there will be no news clips. There will just be...
People still owe money. People still owe money. No.
It looks to me as though you learned to love your prison. I guess you'd say you made it your own. Who knew that freedom's such a difficult decision? I bet you finally feel like you're home. Home.
People still owe money. People still owe money.
That's this is the one.
Hey, everybody!
we did it again. We made it one.
We did it.
Time. We hit the buttons.
I mean, it's kind of our opener, you know.
Hi, everybody. Actually, we talked about that last night, and how did we miss that? That like you and the Harry Carey. Like I almost started to do it. Then I'm like, yeah, no, I got to leave that for that's now a Jesse's signature. And I can't even do it justice. So, props and welcome everybody. This is American Tradition.
Yes, it is.
It's a bonus episode or episode 17, depending on how you decide to look at it. I would call it 17 because that's
canon. Yeah, it's still.
But that's okay. That's all good. That's an inside joke. Love you. Oh, and of course we've got the audio wired wrong, so somehow you heard Jesse before, and you're not supposed to, and I don't know why that's happening. We got to work on our rewiring.
Luckily, you didn't hear me talking about how much I fucking hate everybody on Twitter. Now they're all pieces of shit.
Right? Well, you know what? I never went live on Telegram, but that's all right. We're not live on Telegram, everybody, but we're live everywhere else. We're on Discord. No, we're not. We're on YouTube. We're on Rockfin. We're on Twitch. We're on Twitter. We're on Rumble. We're on Substack tonight, and we're on IndieLeft.news also because I turned on the live stream. So we got some peeps here. Oh boy, two sexy men. Listen to Colin. Colin's compliments will get you only man. Oh my goodness. Here we are. I'm groaning already. We got dad jokes in the house. We got Jesse here. We're here to debut a new album that was released on Christmas Eve, and
another one.
He couldn't wait. He couldn't wait to get it out, man. It was pretty tight. I'm gonna go for.
And this was one listen. I cut myself off at 5. I was like, I'm just gonna have this be like, it was about half an hour as is. I was like, we're just gonna stick with that. These 5 seem to go together nicely, and I was like, yeah, I'm just not gonna go crazy on this one. The next album will come when the next album comes, but I was really happy with these. I still hate that it's considered an EP because of runtime, but I just missed the mark. But you live and you learn.
That's what we do. We don't write art to time the EP. So what do you do? So we also have this kick-ass thumbnail for tonight, of course, with everybody at the NSA and CIA and everybody sitting at their controls and putting the listening party up on screen, which is freaking badass.
It, for those who don't know, it and the cover were both CynicLgrrl creations, which we'll go into the cover later on, but the little details and Easter eggs in it are just phenomenal. Colin, I believe it's just runtime, and I'm trying to remember what the exact cutoff is, because I feel like War Crime Jams to Pork 2 isn't, but Radio Silence is, and they're just a few minutes apart. So the cutoff is somewhere in there.
Which is what, about 30 minutes or so?
35? Yeah, because this is 27 and something, so it's around that half an hour.
Right. Okay. So
yeah,
how long it took you? I think we talked about this, but as long as we're debuting it, we might as well talk about it. How long did it take you to write this one? I mean, the last one you put out was July 4th, and then you had an Election Day special. So
yeah,
is this just between now and election? So, between Election Day and now?
No, these. I'm trying to think of the first piece out of these that I wrote was kind of right after the grift. So this was all written, late summer, in the fall. And started kind of putting the tracks together then, and just taking a bit more time with them.
I remember you doing skin suits during an older American
I think I'd read lyrics for a couple of these, and I put out Buying the Theft, and that was really it. As badly as I wanted to share these, I feel like I always do that. I have a tendency to put out every song as soon as it's written and recorded. And then I'm like, hey, come check out this album of songs you've completely heard, So I liked, with the grift, I held on to a few songs, and I loved when we did the listening party, people hearing them for the first time then. So I really tried to keep these hush. And I'm glad I did, because then I was making changes and additions to some of these, a couple days before they went up. So samples especially, we got the press secretary in there. We have who else did I get?
Laundry's done.
Oh, a Mockingbird. There was a Mockingbird actually outside of Cynic's place that goes off in the middle of the night, and I have a recording of it just making this weird kind of sound, and I pitched that way down, and it's the kind of backbone to Skin Suits. So yeah, I wanted to have fun with these and make the songs a little more listener friendly and approachable, if not like outright danceable in a couple moments. But then there are also a couple times that I had a kind of space, and I was like, what should I do here? And then decided to just go like super heavy for a moment. And it's really, really fun in those little blips. So yeah, it jumps around a lot. For anyone that knows the Mars Volta, like, I set out to make my octahedron, and I think I made my Bedlam and Goliath, and like, I'm not mad at that. But yeah, for 5 songs, that half an hour covers an awful lot of ground. Yeah, I'm really, really, really happy with this. I didn't want to get too in my head about my first like actual follow-up for the grift, because I still feel like Grift wasn't that long ago, and I have to remind myself that I should still be kind of promoting that record. But once I started diving into these, like, I do feel like this is not only the next kind of logical step, but definitely a worthy continuation. So yeah, I've been really looking forward to tonight.
Right, but don't forget about the co-opt, and then Coming of Spring Perennial Edition 8 days later, as Cynic is putting up on the chat right now, reminding everybody that this dude is a beast. He puts out ridiculous amounts of content. We can't even keep up with everything he's doing.
And do a bonus episode, right?
And then we're doing bonuses, and I can't and reading Cat in the Hat and The Grinch, and we're gonna. Wow.
That was so fun. Yeah, 3 weeks out, we'll be doing a full Dr. Seuss and a little Lovecraft tonight. So, Seusscraft.
All right. So I'm gonna go to presenter mode because I want to show everybody the album.
Yeah, let's see if you can pull up the album. I don't know how big you can get the cover if you can just open the image and get any bigger there.
I believe.
Not bad. So some of you might notice right away, the very top left, the seal is the inauguration gift cover. Yeah. Going to the top right, the declassified or unclassified rather paragraph is from an FBI file on John Lennon. When she was making the cover, she mentioned, any document that's unclassified will have the name of the person that did it. And she suggested Cy Oppenheimer. So I got her to find, and bless her heart, because it was not easy, but fusing the Cy of Cy Young's signature and Robert Oppenheimer's Oppenheimer into one solid signature up in the top right there.
That's as tight as I can make, as close as I can zoom in.
That works.
But...
And I loved.
Yeah, you can clearly read it. It's great.
I can't remember, and I wish I could. One day in my feed, I saw where someone had done a Freedom of Information Act request for, I think it was something pertaining to an insurance document in Canada or a healthcare document or something. And literally what they got was every paragraph was almost completely redacted. It was like a header and then just completely black. Like one of those things that just kind of, their way of just saying, yeah, here's your information request back. Here's the information you requested. So I loved the idea of that being the cover. And when she found a way to kind of throw that image in there to where it just peeks out in those brackets, I was just like sploosh. Like it's so cool.
What? Yeah.
And yeah, if you scroll down the bottom right, she was like, we're gonna need some letters, numbers, just any space you want to put some stuff. So we obviously have the ATINN for American tradition, INN. Nice. And the number down there is Julian's number. And obviously left the hashtag in, so if people happen to look it up, then they'll take them right to Julian. We have her signature tucked in the bottom left because she obviously needed to sign her work. And one of my favorite little nods up in the top left for kind of a document header bit right there by the seal.
The coming of spring, right?
Yeah, perennial edition. And that is an indicator for track 3, the 4-minute 20-second mark, which is the line, "You're working for a living in which you are only visiting," which I think, gun to my head, is probably my favorite single line of mine. Or if someone asks what do you think is your most impactful line, that's the one that always jumps out at me.
Did she dox your birthday? Seriously? Wow.
She did. Well, I wanted that. I asked for that. She was like, "Are you sure?" I was like, "Yeah."
I didn't even know, but I was like, "Yeah, I can put 2 and 2, man." Nice. Okay, good job. Here, guys.
But yeah, it seriously was just one of those that that's
I
had in my head what I wanted it to look like.
December 24th, 22.
Yep.
And that's CynicLgrrl. And then this is what? Mr. Appeal. I don't know what it does. I'm sure she'll tell me what that says, but A93, 468. I don't know. There's some numbers in there. Anyway, let's get.
But yeah, there's so many fun Easter eggs and little nods in there, and
and then tonight's thumbnail. There's a bunch more we're gonna probably get to later.
Yeah. Yep.
Get to some music.
So
I realize it's forever.
What
opens?
We
get to a song? Yeah.
What opens this song, and why I wanted to use this for the opener? There is a podcast by the name of lyrical. And the guy that does exhaustive research into just fantastic political music. People I'd never heard of, and known artists too, but just there's so much out there, so much political music that I wasn't aware of. And he's been gracious enough to feature my music in several episodes. And there was one where I was kind of the featured artist, and he played through several tracks. And he ended up reading a quote from a line in American Tradition. And when I was listening to it and heard him read the quote, it felt like I was listening to some kind of like career retrospective. Like it was way more of a humbling experience than I felt like I deserved this soon into things, and really hit me that like this guy understands this type of music really well and sees what I'm trying to do and like totally gets me. And he was actually the person that talked about Utah Phillips enough to make me look into him. And Utah Phillips has been enlightening for me, to say the least, a tremendous inspiration to me in the last few months. So I opened this record up with a sample from the episode where he was featuring my music. He had talked about my stuff for a while, and then he kind of started talking about the movement at large. And then he circled back to me, and it was when I kind of realized that he was talking about my stuff that whole time too, that I started bawling, because it was just the most I felt like I was fucking getting my flowers, like someone really gets it. And there have been some times when I'm kind of in need of a reminder about what I've managed to accomplish so far, and a little push to keep going, that I've listened back to that episode. And I'm not ashamed to admit it, that it's just that like that dopamine hit kind of locked away for emergencies. And so I sampled a line of his in that. And I figured the best way I have to thank him for everything he's had to say about my music was to put him front and center for this new record. So the first track, Apple Model 3 Slave Caller, opens with a quote from Lyrical.
Nice. All right, here we go.
Our society and our world are full of these invented and built up and contrived facades. And sometimes some people come along with a hammer and smash that facade. It's a brilliant, powerful hammer. It's a brilliant, powerful hammer to smash that facade. It's a brilliant, powerful hammer to smash that facade.
Welcome to the future. Shit where you please. The Wi-Fi's killer, but there's no more bees. So there's hardly any flowers, there are very few trees, and you'll pay $1,000 for some honey for your tea. But we got these awesome collars, mine's an Apple Model 3. It allows for better movement than the Tesla X Elite. It lets you customize the ads that it implants in every dream. And for premium subscribers, doesn't shock you in your sleep. But it doesn't stop there. It can analyze your speech, and if it hears disinformation, then it notifies police. It's a swift re-education, but it knocks you off your feet like your booster every 7th week. I faced the future boldly with 2 eager open eyes, and I picked a couple nuggets up that blew my fucking mind. Like you can taxidermy someone while they're technically alive, and they'll shine when it's election time. See, the Democratic voter base will pay them zero. Never mind if voting for the scarecrow is a vote along their party lines. They could stare into its marble eyes and claim there's something dignified. Unlike real politicians, this one doesn't need an oxygen or kit supply. But its function is the same as those who came before. The goals are never misaligned. It still spends all its working time performing pre-recorded fleecing sessions where it sugarcoats your slow and hungry genocide, while pouring billions into Nazi coffers, all the while selling you the story that we're moments till the MiGs arrive. So fuck it, ask Zelensky if he'll help replace our leaded pipes. Watch a fleet of Penske's show, stacks of bills in every size. Guess it only took a black sun and a couple Heils. Honorary goose step in some Nazi boots a quarter mile, all while Biden sneers his sordid smile. I don't know what was in this morning's vial, but it makes him stare 1,000 yards through all the prompters and the cards like he can smell the nearest child. His eyes are wide and wild, wider than the grave in which another 1,000 families were tossed in as I typed until they rose up to the sky unceremoniously piled. Which sort of flies right in the face of all this network ticker tape where the American economy has superhuman vitals.
And sometimes some people come along with a hammer.
See, I like to think my trial's gonna play like a recital. I'll denounce the world around me and accuse the most entitled, who weaponize their titles, whose pull is something title, who'd starve us all to death to best delight their blinded idol. So they might destroy the record, and I will never get to vinyl. So my word is not immortal, but it's final.
It's a brilliant, powerful hammer. It's a brilliant, powerful hammer to smash that facade.
All right. Okay. Hopefully people can still hear me. And there wasn't like this crazy echo that Jesse says he heard. Do we hear Jesse?
No, I didn't hear an echo. It
Okay.
sounds like it's just not going through the normal audio source or something. Like normally it sounds like I'm just listening to the music through headphones, but it sounds like I'm listening to it through your mic, or like there's some audio middleman in the
really
equation.
weird. I wonder why that is.
Like it's not direct or something.
Something weird on your side. I can use all the Malcolm Bird, by the way. Lyrical. That's Malcolm Bird's voice. I could tell that anywhere. So
no,
smooth. No, that's not
no,
Malcolm
it's actually
Bird?
Not. No,
it sounds just like him, because I know you were doing the interview with him, and
they've got that same kind of soothing cadence though. That like
bassy tone. Mm-hmm. That bassy tone. That hello.
That radio voice, man.
Yeah, for sure. Damn, I don't know what the heck that was, and how to fix it right now. So we've got Buying the Fat. We got 4 more tracks. So Apple Model 2, Slave Culture. I like the lyrics. I like the music, of course. I'm like trying to pay attention to 19 things at once, and it's just impossible.
Oh, I know.
To do, and give it a listen and do all that. I'm losing my mind.
It's a grower. It's not a shower. So. Dick jokes.
Oh boy, getting hammered like a Pelosi. Yes, that is.
Here.
That does have several connotations. I don't know how but
all right, yeah. So Buying the Theft. Oh, this was one of those, like, I've tried to simplify my baseline a little bit, and I watched a couple interviews with Thundercat, and he was talking about just like how his favorite bass lines are ones that just move the song, like more than participating in it. And Love Your Prison was the first one where I tried to like do something that was a bit more like rhythmic while still having some melody. But this was a bass line as simple as it is. There's just some funk to this one that I was so excited working on this track. The flow of it and everything. I fucking love this song.
All right. Well, let everybody else hear
of the free, and you'll know us by the trail of dead. It's just one more world war to complete the set. When you live by the pike, you die by the pith. You die wide-eyed, still pleading the fifth, or crying divine epithets and pathetic attempts at defense. All empathetic for those on your side of the fence. Well, I'll gladly put you and your legacy into an alternate tense of faltering senses and altered events. Like hun, it ain't a hearse, it's a reaper's stretch. Ah, how sweet, she said. Bunch of hordes in the street like it's Evil Dead. Where the thin blue line meets razor's edge. And where the corporate ladder ascends to a steel-toed boot that awaits on the ledge. You'll be licking it fresh at your boss's request till it stomps each finger and watches you fall to your death and drown in an ocean of debt. Gone with the fodder who gathered to honor the patient left, who purity tested themselves into sections step by step till the next election, when it's just one them and the sound of their well-read theorized breath. That's harm reduction for the lowly cost of you holding your nose and just openly buying the theft. Maybe that's all in the flick of the pen. Maybe we're all one unmarked van from a trip to the pen, being guarded by pigs who exist on a diet of dying breaths of much worthier men. Honey, heaven's expecting you. Just don't get too hung up on who they let in. Just look up at the shine of the pearly gates. You don't need to worry if there's lead in the paint. You don't need to worry if there's lead in the water, lead in the milk, lead in the honey, lead in the caustic embrace of the Heavenly Father. Lead is the flavor of passive perpetual slaughter. Lead is the taste of us led to the ledge by the lure of the legend of expert consensus, and then beckon to stretch it just one step farther. And I hope all the folks who were boastfully gloating and toasting themselves as the heroes of COVID for boosting their boosters and doing their part are now equally thrilled to be starstruck martyrs. All laid in a government grave with anonymous markers, like you're back from the carvers and off to the splicer. You're the very first wave to be slain in the war against Pfizer, that 100 years war against Pfizer. They are thinning the crowd that is striking right now to bleed adequate pay from those inhuman misers, who all sit in their office and designate coffins to people regarded as nothing but profit for Kaiser. Still the Dems want you nicer. Dems want you softer. Dems want you kinder. Yeah, they all want you graciously starving in silence. You will speak when you're spoken to. Rest of the time, you and all of us peasants are merely depressing statistics neglected in Congress's binders. All bled, bone dry, then fed to the grinder. Our headstones line each step as reminders. That's a lesson in object permanence learned in the furnace by workers consigned to the fire. Workers bled, bone dry, then fed by the fed to the grinder. Fed by the fed to the grinder. Now the fed went straight to your head. Mind what you hide and your sighs unsaid, and your eyes turn blind to the signs unread. Flag bright red, so you let it in bed. You let it inside and you'll see that it's fed. Never you mind that it grinds your wealth into bread for itself, then it bleeds you dry, then it dines on the dead. Now the fed went straight to your head. Mind what you hide and your sighs unsaid, and your eyes turn blind to the signs unread. Flag bright red, so you let it in bed. You let it inside and you'll see that it's fed. Never you mind that it grinds your wealth into bread for itself, then it bleeds you dry, then it dines on the dead. And the fed went straight to your head. Mind what you hide and your sighs unsaid, and your eyes turn blind to the signs unread. Flag bright red, so you let it in bed. You let it inside, you'll see that it's fed. Never you mind that it grinds your wealth into bread for itself, bleeds you dry, then dines on the dead. The fed went straight to your head. Mind what you hide and your sighs unsaid, and your eyes turn blind to the signs unread. Flag bright red, so you let it in bed. You let it inside and you'll see that it's fed. Never you mind that it grinds your wealth into bread for itself, then it bleeds you dry, then it dines on the dead. Here's where our leaders would see us all led. Here's where our leaders would see us all led. Here's where our leaders would see us all led. Here's where our leaders would see us all led. The fed went straight to your head. Mind what you hide and your sighs unsaid, and your eyes turn blind to the signs unread. Flag bright red, so you let it in bed. You let it inside, you'll see that it's fed. Never you'll mind that it grinds your wealth into bread for itself, then it bleeds you dry, then it dines on the dead. straight to your head. Mind what you hide and your size unsaid, and your eyes turn blind to the signs on red. Flag bright red, so you let it in bed. You let it inside, you'll see it, it's fed. Never your mind, that it grinds your mind, that it grinds yourself, that it bleeds you dry, that it dines on the dead. Here's where our leaders would see us all led.
All right, that kind of brought it hard a little bit, I would say. Everybody was standing there bopping their heads. I can tell you because I'm reading the chat. Yeah, and then damn that. All right, let me get back to that. Okay, Fed went straight to your head. All right, if you break this down, like there's so many
right
like, little Easter eggs in itself. Like what?
Right?
Wait. I read this like 3 times. So like, wow. You got to unpack this alone, let alone the rest of it. And you're just like,
right?
Do this.
This one, I had to like surgically kind of work this one until it fit. And once it did, I was like, yeah, I'm going to repeat this one several times because I was like, it kind of bears repeating. Like you said, if you're not reading it, it's kind of I don't even quite, I would have a hard time getting like the mind what you hide in your size unsaid doesn't translate for me until I see the words. Like,
well, your eyes turn blind to the signs unread and flag bright red, like the color, which is like, you're like, wait, red, what the hell? It takes a second. I feel you. But yeah, wow.
Thank you.
And then you're using fed different ways, different ways of using the same word in the same parrot. Like, why are you fucking me up like that, dude? What are you doing to me? I'm high. I just want to listen to some music. Now I gotta think and everything. Damn, man. I'm pulling a Hedberg on you. But yeah.
Right.
Damn.
Oh,
holy shit.
Which was the best.
Killing me.
So this I'm going to make like a video or something for, because if there's a single on this record, it's the next one. I really love this this chorus, and I threw in some little ad libs and just kind of did a few things vocally that I don't do in a lot of other stuff, and I feel like it's better off for it. So if anything, this is a good kind of representation. This and the heavier moments are kind of where I'm going. I want more melodic, but then I want my heavy to be really heavy. If I'm going to get bleak, I want it to have some fucking anger behind it. And then I want the contrast to that to be really melodic and dreamier. And I feel like deep hop culture is the kind of watermark for that. So
let's do it.
I guess this isn't such an awful place. Is that what you want me to say? You prove it's possible to sleep for days and to still think you're right here awake. The cost of living isn't much to make, but God, it's so hard to save. And when they told you everything was safe, were you safe? Were you safe? Were you safe? Were you safe? I guess this isn't such an awful place. Is that what you want me to say? You prove it's possible to sleep for days and to still think you're right here awake. The cost of living isn't much to make, but God, it's so hard to say. And when they told
the brand new cancerous growth who has come here to vie for your vote. Come here to cry at the camps and to mourn at the shore for the bodies that float by the wreck of an immigrant boat. Then it's back to their luxury home, couple security booths and a moat. Couple cigars, little escargot, little booze and a soak. Just breathe in the steam and the smoke. Pink salt, lavender, candles are low. Shit, when you do what you do, gotta lighten the load. And he got a life of his own that's a sight to behold. And it's a lot to control, to decipher the code or to siphon the soul. The cost of a good night's sleep for the working elite is a bargain, no matter the toll. Worth any wager, and that comes straight from the mouth of the means to the goal that will swallow us whole. Ripe for the picking if you don't mind mold, and you know I don't. Maybe we're pleasantly prone, maybe we're taking a licking, compliantly ticking and ticking and ticking, but never explode. No, I don't deliver the prettiest image, but damn if it isn't an accurate vision of natural fission, of rage at the system and abject heartbreak, patiently waiting for any who'll listen. That little blue bird who was watching your words is a federal carrier pigeon, a Langley first. It's a patient observer who hears what it wants and is trained for the worst. Oh, you got nothing to hide. They'll be the ones to decide that after they root through your purse, after they read all your text, after they raid your apartment, confiscate all of its contents, then conjure up evidence out of the air on a wing and a prayer and malicious intelligence nonsense. Any presumption of innocence long since gone, right along with your comforts and constants. Historically first they will come for the communists. So why in the fuck would I say I'm a communist? Well, it might be I love my community more than the monsters of opulence who are holding us hostage, who are vomiting promises. Might be I'm all done seeing our pensions and benefits harvested. Might be I'm all done watching the populace being disarmed in the guise of an armistice. Watching a woman collapse on the floor who will rise no more. She is wheeled out the door and you're next in line for the pharmacist. If you can get me to vote, it's a hard no confidence. But part of the charm of deception is politics wearing the mask of incompetence. It's all in the art of austerity, darling. It's all in the slide of the providence. Until home is as wide as your cubicle height and is only as deep as your coffin is. Maybe I'm miles away from impatience, aching to break off the head of the snake where the capital lust, reptile brain, and the margin of profit is. Like off with his. Like off with his.
I guess this isn't such an awful place. Is that what you want me to say? You prove it's possible to sleep for days and to still think you're right here awake. The cost of living isn't much to make, but God, it's so hard to save. And when they told you everything was safe, were you safe?
Dude, that slaps. Holy shit. Yeah. Wow, that's going now. Did this make it up to Spotify yet? I'm guessing it did.
Yes, it did.
Right,
yeah.
So we got to put that in the pre-song playlist. Hell yeah, dude. That slaps hard, and the words are sick too. But jessejett.bandcamp.com, everybody. Go give this a listen, give it a download, add it to your stuff, and also on Spotify. You can go to the Jesse Jett channel. He's got his own channel now, everybody. Jesse Jett Radio.
Musically, I felt like that.
Oh,
sorry.
I was gonna drop it in the
I feel like that kind of hit the Sunday morning 40 vibe, like that same feel. I always loved Sunday morning 40 and hated that it was like only 2 minutes long. And so this one, when I felt like I had something that same kind of atmosphere to it, I was like, this one I want to, it's of course it's like 6 minutes or whatever. I think everything on this record is like 5 minutes or so. But yeah, I felt like this had a really good, that same kind of dreamy bottom end. I use that same kind of 808 that I used in Sunday morning 40.
But why the fuck?
Yeah, this was one I was
myself a communist. Like you just start going off, and I was just like
I can't wait for Rome, especially. I'm dying for him to hear that line. I need to tag him on that.
Right, but yeah, it's just you kind of started off slow with a hot beat, and then all of a sudden you just rip into it. You're just like, wow! And by the third paragraph, you lavender, candles low. and yeah, just killing you. You're killing it. So loving this. This is.
Thank you, man.
This is good, and this one and the funk beat. So we've got 2 left. We got Skin Suits, which I'm excited to hear.
We do. Ooh, yeah,
Because
Skin Suits.
I
This
heard
is
it
the
as
one with
spoken
the
word, right?
Yeah. This is the one with the Mockingbird sample that just really helped make this kind of weird and creepy and like just exactly how I wanted it to feel. And especially coming off of Depop Culture, ending with that nice vocal hang that's really dreamy, going into this song, especially with headphones on, it just like it's a good kind of skin crawly transition that I really love. So yeah, let it rip. Skin
Suits.
Mother and baby on razor's edge. Don't give a shit what your paper said. Economy creeping up out of red. They divvy a shit a little bit of bread. Miles away from that lady's ledge. Her senator waking safe and fed. Ain't got a paper to read in bed. Jerking them off as they count the dead. Gorillas in the mist, skin suits in the center. Water in the streets, chest deep like it's Venice. Water out a tap in Jackson comes blacker than resin. Black incidentally like most of its residents, which is why it isn't on your television, isn't on the lips of your president. Well, I'm admitting that as evidence. I've been fleshing out a case to be made for the testament. I don't know what our collateral count is, but doubt it is less than the estimate. You just show us a hospital, watch as we Dresden it. Our propaganda gets taken to heart, and you're scarfing it, like it or not. If you think that you aren't, I would urge you to pick that apart, cause you're drinking it, smoking it, driving it, dressed in it. We pay for it, pray to it, bathe in it, fill up the basin, and babies are blessed in it. Ask no questions, bask in the pestilence. See, honey, when the plague goes live, you'd be wise to invest in it. See, honey, when the plague goes live, just between you and I, that's an industry sign that they're all done testing it. And come 2025, they will all be confessing it. And then a few small fry fall guys all fly from the precipice, who are doomed to be wasted like shell corporations, dissolving to vapor, then gone with the resonance, gone with the sense and the sentiments, gone with the dust of the remnants, gone with the ghosts of the regiment, gone like those families in Gaza whose bodies and homes are demolished when Israel sets up a settlement. Gone like your chance at a settlement. Gone like the hope of apologies out of those funding our deadliest research and backroom development. Gone like your shot at a measly I'm sorry from the mouths of our own bioterrorists. God, you cannot imagine the face of the monster. You can't even fathom the scale of its carapace. It's under your feet, yet you're barely aware of it. You see it's quietly judging the scope of your suffering, sizing you up like a therapist. Then it rides in your guts like a parasite, growing in size and excreting a culture that's purely embarrassment. Equal parts Manson and Maryland, equal parts something we push into madness and something we'll gladly exploit and objectify 50 years after it perishes. Carefully crafted and planned and arranged like a monarchy's marriages. Fucking cousins or otherwise, scourge of the colonized, staged and displayed for the sake of retaining those imperial barracks. And all to expedite a special type of anglicized dysplasia. The kind where half the world is waking up to learn they're being raided, raped, and robbed of all their heritage by Charles and his caravan of 30 servants' carriages. The kind where each in the procession is worth infinitely less, till eventually they're paid in sums of crown-approved disparagement and bonuses of shame, till they're finally told to thank the highest-ranking inbred pig named king of every garrison. one who rose into his power all immaculate, like Harris did. Well, now that garishness is melting down like paraffin that hardens in a shell and shelters terrified and threatened royal terrapin. Those that rule with zero question, although nobody elected it. Democracy was here till we dissected it. Democracy was here until the exhibition exodus. And the loss of that democracy is just a threat for those who've yet to recognize the scent of bait or know the taste of desiccants. Democracy was here and now the smear is all that's left of it.
Democracy was here and now the smear is all that's left of it.
Mother and baby on razor's edge, don't give a shit what your paper said. Economy creeping up out of red as they divvy a shitty little bit of bread. And miles away from that lady's ledge, her senator waking, he's safe and fed. And Aid got a paper to read in bed, jerking him off as they count the dead. Mother and baby on razor's edge, don't give a shit what your paper said. Economy creeping up out of red as they divvy a shitty little bit of bread. And miles away from that lady's ledge, her senator waking, he's safe and fed. Aid got a paper to read in bed, jerking him off as they count the dead. Mother and baby on razor's edge, they don't give a shit what your paper said. Economy creeping up out of red as they divvy a shitty little bit of bread. And miles away from that lady's ledge, her senator waking, he's safe and fed. Aid got a paper to read in bed, jerking him off as they count the dead. Mother and baby on razor's edge, don't give a shit what your paper said. The economy creeping up out of red as they divvy a shitty little bit of bread. And miles away from that lady's ledge, her senator waking, he's safe in bed. And Aid got a paper to read in bed, jerking him off as they count the dead. Mother and baby on razor's edge, they don't give a shit what your paper said. The economy creeping up out of red as they divvy a shitty little bit of bread. And miles away from that lady's ledge, her senator waking, he's safe in bed. And Aid got a paper to read in bed, jerking him off as they count the dead.
Yeah, what do you really think? that kind of goes hard a little bit. Yeah, that slaps you around if right away with
right?
Whispering and
yeah,
exactly what you're saying, and it's like if you're listening and you're paying attention.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, Colin picked up the Tara music and Cynic's talking. Everyone's just loving it. The people that are here. Gamer, love
that heavy kind of stringed instrument at the end is the same one in Through the Eyes, just with a distortion on it. I tried that out and fell in love with it. And it's that just that's there's something about that tone that just did it for me. This last song, this is one that I had talked to you about a couple times, that I'd wanted to have a piece that kind of talked about going back and forth if you like do any kinds of activism, and the things you learn obviously stay with you, and no matter how invested you are, I'm sure anyone gets those periods from time to time where you kind of weigh stepping away from it, at least as much as you can. And maybe for me, it's kind of cathartic to pretend that I could and tell myself that it's even like a possibility, because I'm sure if I tried to stop making this music and writing like this, I'd be able to do it for maybe a couple months, but then I wouldn't be able to suppress that. But this specifically was about weighing, like, I struggle with how soon do I start really telling my son the hard truths. I don't want to let him just be kind of propagandized outright early, because it starts early. But I don't want to make him too radical too soon, so things are too difficult for him. And then really, how better off am I for what I know? So this song was kind of the culmination of that. Just all those thoughts. And so musically, it really covers the emotional, romantic, the angry. There's just a lot going on in this song. So it felt like a really good place to end the record. So yeah, this is blocking the line.
Oh, you son of a bitch! Oh, you son of a bitch! I'm reading this already, and you're freaking killing me. I'm really started yet. God damn it.
I warned you about this one, bro. I really did.
Yes. Well, in all fairness, you did say it was going to kill me, and that you were going to wreck me to walk out, and that's what we're going to end up doing. That's awesome. Reese here.
You're totally right, Reef. Yeah, no, that shit's propaganda. I'm not in this house.
we just propaganda, definitely. It's propaganda. So yeah, let's get to this, and then tomorrow night we're gonna have INN News with JB. They just finished recording that, putting that
nice.
So we'll have that. So let's get this done and
do it.
When you are not with where majority of Americans are, then that is extreme. That is an extreme way of thinking.
Set you free, but I really want to let you be. And a part of me wished I could set myself aside, just let you take the ride, just chalk the rest up to destiny. I could let you believe that the only restraints in life are the size of your dreams. Let you believe each kid grows up with the world at their feet. When I know too well it's open season, I know they're taking stock and raising stocks and raising stock. And I'm simply not here to sit and watch as you learn the lesson all cogs are taught. Keep your head down and keep to task and just keep on blocking the rest of it all out. Just keep on with the rest of the herd of a million adjacent oblivious workers. The forest unseen for the trees, and the trees unseen for the fallout. No, what's more damning, baby, the truth or the ignorance? Fuck it, I honestly wonder if I see the answer so well. Baby, believe me, well, I know it's scary, I scare myself. If I could find a way out of my head, I would run like hell. I would ditch this body politic, mindless occupant somewhere far from the dismal abyss. In the tranquil crystalline bliss of the beach, I could rest with the rest of the shells. And if anyone asks, I'm anywhere else. If I'm really needed, just light the candle, then read the book, and then ring the bell. Oh, my untarnished heart, my little perfect soul. This world will melt your mercy down so they can sell its gold. This world will take your worth and then demand 1,000-fold. It's full of greedy pigs who'll eat you out of house and home. They'll strip your bank account and sweep you somewhere down the road, and then return to eat your tent and shitty bike you rode. Your bottled water, only shoes and coat and broken phone. Then smiling in your face, they'll tell you that the shelter's closed.
When you are not with where majority of Americans are, then, that is extreme. That is an extreme way of thinking.
Hoped you would never find out, knew that you had to know. Pulling what's left of my mind out, trying to tell you so. I tried to block the light out, knew you could feel its glow. stand here holding my hands out, trying to keep you close, trying to keep you
Oh, my untarnished heart, my little perfect soul. This world will melt your mercy down so they can sell its gold. This world will take your worth, then demand 1,000-fold. I tried to block the light just so I could keep you close.
Yeah. Damn. So much to unpack there too, folks.
Right? Yeah, no shit.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You really kill. I did hear like a little bit of Eminem Superman in there, like boop, 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 like a little bit of the cadence and a little bit of the beat. I heard like it was like the same kind of cadence pretty much. I don't know if you even realized that you did it. But that's awesome. Yeah, need to hear that again for sure. Well, you can listen to that, of course, on jessejett.bandcamp.com. I know Cynic doesn't need to do that, but I'm sure she's probably got it on loop like 24/7. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, we're definitely adding these to the playlist. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, again, it's only 5 songs, but it covers a lot of ground. I feel like by the end of it, I'm not like I don't wrap it up and go like, I wish there was a moment of like I feel like it's a good solid. I was happy with these 5. I'm like, pack it, ship it. That's good. So yeah, I was really happy with how this turned out. So really excited to do this tonight.
Yeah, so Cynic was talking about tonight and the cover art, and the cover art for the episode. I don't know if she said she dropped some other nuggets in about tonight, but I know she sent a whole long thing. We're coming up on an hour,
and you can see me tucked away behind the computer on the right, like a cardboard cutout, like if there was a fat head of me. And, you know, obviously the clip there of Corinne Pierre, the press secretary. You know, when she was pressed about the new definition of extremism, that was her answer. And I wanted to sample that not only for, I mean, there's a lot there. The fact that this is such an obvious, I mean, it's the definition of fascism. If the new wording for extremism basically says, if you think that America is to cause for global problems, if you think that your government is to blame for problems at home, that's you know, that fits the bill for extremism. And that when she was pressed, her answer, she kind of fumbles a little of her wording, and that's the official response from the press secretary. That's just the icing on the cake. She says, if you're not with where the majority of Americans are, you know, then that's extreme. That's an extreme way of thinking. Like, fuck me, like that. Oh, so like, yeah, that's getting sampled, and that was what made me think of, okay, there's your title. Everyone who disagrees with you is an extreme. there's your broad stroke that you want to paint with.
It wrote itself. It really did. Thank you, and you don't even have to pay your royalties. That's beautiful. Right. So, yeah, you've already got like the next. I know that you catch things all the time. I know you said to Tara like the other day, like, can I claim that as an album name? But I didn't know what it was, and I'm just like, yeah, that's Jesse doing that. It was like midnight extremist or midnight something, and I was like, yeah, that is a perfect name for a Jesse album for sure.
Yep.
So yeah. So tomorrow night again, JB is going to be on INN News episode number 40 with Colin and Reef. Really excited for that. We're gonna start. I hopefully cycling more people in with Colin and Reef. They do a great show every Wednesday night. Friday night, Warren's gonna do a year in review extra booyah. He's talking about it being as much as 2 hours, so strap in for that. What? Yeah, that'll be fun. Might even see an appearance by me talking about platforms for all we know, or maybe there won't be. I don't know. I think that was the only extra Booyah appearance I had all year.
Got to tune in to find out.
Yeah, that's it. Everybody's got to watch Friday night, and then Sunday, of course, we're not going to do How Do We Miss That because it's New Year's, but Sunday night at midnight at New Year's, maybe it's Saturday at midnight, but starting at midnight on January 1st. Warren and Extra Booyah and Jimmy will be live with a secret show for New Year's, so that's going to be great. And then we'll be back. I don't even know when. For How Do We Miss That? So maybe Monday, maybe not, and then I'm out the week after that. So we'll see what happens. In the meantime, I also just I'm about to release the new Indies Tech Tips channel and show on. It's up on Rumble. I have the videos unlisted, so we haven't published anything yet, but that's coming probably before the end of the year. It might even come on the first of the year. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. I've already sneak previewed it for some people, but what do you got? What do you got going on? Are you writing more? You're going to promote the hell out of this now because it came out a week ago. So we got.
Yeah, I'm just promote this for a while. I really don't have anything like new that I'm trying to work on. I want to get around to finally doing the acoustic covers of like stuff like Militia Intent. Some of those songs that I've been putting off doing an acoustic version of. Oh no, Colin, those are not cut out. Sorry, this is a shirt by a band called Animals as Leaders, and these are just gray. I don't know, gray designs on them, but no, it looks like it could be, but I promise it's not. The shirt is solid.
It looks like it would be like a tribal necklace made out of bones or something,
Okay, yeah, a whole bunch of people all of a sudden when Black Panther came out, they're like, "Oh, is that a Wakanda shirt?" I'm like, "No." I'm old. This is this is a shirt from a metal band that I saw in 2007.
Oh my god!
But no, for those of you who haven't listened to Animals as Leaders, fucking just ridiculous guitar work. There's just two guitarists and a drummer, and they both play like 8-string, and just oh my god, it's so good. Anyways, yeah. This record, I'm gonna just kind of take my time and push it. Record some acoustic stuff.
You still have the co-op. You barely even pushed the co-op. I mean,
I know, and that's the thing. I really need to like do one last kind of round of promotion for the Grift, and then promote some spoken word shit, and then I can promote this in January.
You get the Grift, you get the co-op. It's just like just 2022 year in review. I think that's how you do it, and
right.
You put that out, and wow.
So this makes 10 political albums since the beginning of 2020, and then my doo-wop thing. So I have 11 records in the last 2 years, and no plans to stop.
Nope, we're not slowing down. We can't even keep up.
Yeah.
So again, you can check this out again and share this stream on Rumble, Rockfin, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter. Please do. Let other people know about this. Let other people share Jesse's music. I want everybody to hear it. It's incredible. Wow. The writing and the music on top of it. It's just killer combo. Everybody knows it. Check him out on INN every other Tuesday night. American Tradition. We have some fun and we tell some stories and we play some music and he does some spoken word and. I just sit here.
Next episode, we're just gonna
get amazed.
We're gonna read next time. I had a lot of fun doing the Grinch and Night Before Christmas on the Christmas episode, and I God knows I got more Dr. Seuss I want to do. So next episode we're gonna do Dr. Seuss and probably a little Lovecraft. I feel like that's a good combo. Ooh. So yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm not 100% when we're gonna do that. I have to get with Greg. I'm not sure when we're trying to kick off a potential new show, or if I'm still usual bat time. So we'll see.
I don't know what we're gonna do there. Yeah, stay tuned.
I mean, God knows I can read Dr. Seuss at the drop of a hat. So it might be sooner rather than later. So yeah,
Cool, man.
yeah. Stay tuned, you guys. You know where I am, so I'll keep everybody posted.
And yeah, so for tonight, and Happy New Year, everybody, because this is probably gonna be the last time you hear from me this year. Amazingly enough, my voice is constantly out there, so it's pretty. Wow. There'll be clips from How Do We Miss That this week, probably, so you'll hear that. But this is it. Signing off for 2022. Fuck you, 2022, but also you were amazing, 2022. Like, good, bad, amazing. Look, this show started in 2022. You joined INN in 2022, but Fox ended up where he, we had what happened with him in August, and you did CPI, and you did the whole event in August as well. Like, it was ups, downs, everything left, right, sideways. And,
Damn, we should have done an in memoriam for suspended accounts and put some sad music to it and done a whole clip show.
Yeah, like with the piano music. Yeah, we definitely right. Oh my god. Well, we will be. Oh, no stairway, but denied.
I close my eyes.
You're my boy, Blue. Oh my god! Yes, I did get the old school reference. Oh, that's awesome! All right, we end the year.
Thank you guys for hanging out. Seriously, as always.
Love you, everybody.
It means the
Happy
world.
New Year. We'll see you guys next year, and we are gonna go out here.
Ooh,
Indie News Network, collaborative family of independent content creators, co-hosted normally by me, Indie. I'm founder and editor of Indie Left News and Indie Media Today. I got Reef sitting next to me. We're all founding members, like I said, of
and then the Indie News Network.
My name is Jesse Jett.
It's American tradition.
What's up, Space Monkeys? Welcome to Political Fight Club. I'm Robert Durden.
Go to malentsplain.com.
Welcome to another episode of the show your parents warned you about. It's Reef After Dark.
Guys, this is Tommy Nate with Tommy Nation Politics.
I mostly make art for INN.
BigMadCrab Joe. Keep up those great videos.
I'm Tatami of the YouTube channel Tatami's Diary.
Is Andrew Rivera on The Handsome Cynic?
Stay high, everybody.
Hey guys, it's Yeti coming at you.
It's Politics and Survival. Hello, my name is Lucy from Blue Moon Red Wine.
This is Chris Legion, and peace out.
Les Bones says Colin too fancy.
No, don't do that to me. Oh.
Keep fighting that good fight out there, guys. I'll talk to you later.
Who are these people?
I think I liked it better being blind, when I couldn't read between the lines, and when I couldn't see the cracks in the structure that lay bare before me the whole time.
It's so great. It really is.
I think I liked it better back when I
get a little verklempt every time at the end of that. I was like, oh,
I thought I knew the difference in the red from the blue, but they both bleed us so dry. They both bleed us so dry. My favorite songs don't hit the same way. I get to the end of a 4-minute track and I'm only looking back thinking, what did they actually say? So I try to